Okay, it's me and Ma going for a walk.
Hello, lovey.
Where you go, I will follow.
Come, let's
Okay,
go.
go, because I got to get your cute butt and legs, because Louis keeps bragging on it. So we got to say, ooh, there's that cute lady. Woo, woo, woo. They're afraid of flying. So when they take off, they do that, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. They make a hell of a noise.
Cute little
They're
hottie-da.
scared of the height.
You're a
What's
big
some
bird.
other phobia?
What do you call it, Ma?
Thatch.
That's what I meant. Thatch. Go for that orange.
Shoot, everything is so dull. It's so nice and bright and green at the moment.
Well, around the corner it'll be spring before you know it.
Oh. No, lovey, first winter. Winter's got to come first.
Oh, that's right.
Not yet. Not yet. Too early, guys. Oh, when we come back, it'll be more or less sunset.
Yeah.
See that? Beautiful.
Okay.
With my animals.
They didn't come show off for you, Ma.
Huh?
They didn't come show off for you, your animals.
No, I don't want them to show off for me. I want them to show off for you. They know me this old. What bird
Somewhere
is that?
out there.
Is that a bird in this tree here? No, it's a tree. It's a tree stump. If I look at a summer game, whatever it is, buck, she says, I look and I look and I look, and all of a sudden it turns into a tree. But you know, I just think the way we ruin everything. You know, if there's not something profitable in it for us, then we just don't worry about it. Just collect all the time.
A moral vacancy, I think, huh? You see that a lot.
Yeah, but the whole life circle is like that. You know, there are some people, just standing there, wanting everything without doing anything. They're not doing a thing.
No good for the world.
No good for the world. And yet, God made them the same reason why He made us. What make us think we're perfect? No, we're not. I'm very, very, very far from it. But it just makes you think sometimes.
Yeah. It does.
Especially when you walk and you see all that He has created. And as I say, and now look at the way they killing the animals. The rhinos, for what? For the ivory. Well, not
for the
ivory,
horn,
for the horns. The elephants were
yeah.
because it's some other, as they believe, sex stimulant.
Yeah, thank goodness there's organizations trying to do something about it.
Yeah, it's a big battle. It takes a hell of a lot of money.
Yes.
And the thing is, if they strip the world of rhinos, our grandchildren would never know about them. They would never be able to see them walking, you know.
Yeah, and it's heading that way.
It's a fantastic animal. All things are beautiful. But, as I say, so we put there to, I suppose, to get rid of everything. And once we have, then I suppose it'll be the end of it.
See your babies out there yet?
I haven't. That's why I'm so upset. That's why I'm so upset. Ma'am, that buck you saw there turned into a tree.
I loved hearing Fester talk about his great-grandson and how he would run in the house looking for his opa. When he was...
Oh, buck, oh, buck. Oh, Fester was so excited when he got back, you know. I wonder if it is because he never grew up with children. Nobody, it was just him, all by himself. I think it must have been a very lonely childhood too. His mother died early. His aunt was a spinster. She never really knew anything about children. She didn't know how to bring up children or whatever. And I think it must have been very, very lonely for him. Now, the other day, one of his nieces was saying they remember when him and his dad came visiting, and their aunt, when they came visiting, he was sitting there with his little suit tie.
Aww.
And they were all playing around barefoot, you know, in their khaki shorts and things like that. And here was this little one sitting there, and, you know, just his feet going like that all the time.
So he didn't get much interaction with kids to be a kid, socialize.
No, only when he went to school. Only when he went to school. No, there wasn't much, as I say. And you know, his dad, being a minister,
Demanded a lot of him.
demanded a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. And, you know, I suppose because of his job, he was always involved with people having problems in the house, having problems there.
By virtue of being a minister.
Yes. And then after his mother died, a few years after that, his dad remarried. And it was one of the ladies, which was sort of, she called herself a Christian. I doubt whether she was one. I suppose there are very, very few real Christians. But nevertheless, and she wouldn't accept him at all. So she didn't want to have anything to do with him.
Oh, sad, huh?
Yeah, very, very sad. So eventually his dad left Twelling, where they grew up, and moved somewhere, I don't know if it was Ceres or somewhere, and stayed there till his dad died. And he only saw this sort of stepmom of his the day of the funeral. But she was, in a way, upset because he was then buried next to his first wife, because it was in the church's
cemetery.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't the church's cemetery, really. It was
A graveyard? And they had bought plots, or?
only him and buried there, two of them, because he started that parish, and that's why only him and his wife were buried there.
She hold a grudge?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, because at that time, Mr. was at university in Stellenbosch, so he wasn't close by or anything, you know, as if he was visiting all the time or interfering with something. Come on. Move your blooming ass out of the seat. They started this parish. He's, you know, they had a special day to, a day of remembrance, I suppose, in a way you could call it. And so then he was just married to Anne, and him and Anne went there. 25 years later, Anne had passed away already, and he married Judith. So the 50th anniversary, they invited Verster again, you know. It was, you know, just a wreath laying and things like that. So him and Judith went. And we were just married. Then, of course, Judith passed away. So several years later, him and I got married. And you wouldn't believe it, here comes the invitation to the 75th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So I went with him. And I said to him, you know, all these people are looking at you and they think to themselves, yeah. And we thought this old Germany's son was so quiet and he couldn't say anything. And look at him, he's on his third wife again. And so he said to the new minister that was there, he just moved in, I think, 3 weeks before. And we were staying over there. And he said to him, now, I just want to tell you one thing. I will not be at the 100th anniversary and I will not have another wife.
Oh, cute.
I thought it was so funny. Every time he had another wife.
And you guys just had your 20th anniversary.
Yes. We just had a last month. No, this month.
Aww.
The 15th. We were married 20 years.
And what do you think are his best attributes? What made you fall in love with him?
You know, I suppose his honesty, his mannerisms, because yes, he's very old-fashioned, but it's so nice to be treated like a lady. Not being, you know, okay, you can do things on your own and so on. So, okay, I do things on my own. But if he is there, Terry, he will always pull out a chair for me. He's the biggest gentleman there is. Absolutely. And yeah, of course, everybody is telling me every day, listen, we're just waiting for you to die, because I promise you, the next day, we're going to start courting him.
You're going to start what?
Courting him. Yeah. I said, well, you know what? He's never married an unfamiliar person. We knew each other for 10 years before we got married. And Judith and him grew up together. He introduced her to her husband.
Oh, goodness.
So they were at the same school and everything. And then Anne, when he was at university, after his dad died, he got his old car. So he had nowhere to park his car. And he got to know Anne's parents. And he parked his car there in a garage. So eventually he got to know Anne very well. And the day after he graduated, they got married. But she was very sick, very ill, sort of right from the beginning.
Oh, shame.
She was never well. He is such a carer.
Oh.
I promise you. You know, my sister always tells me, she says, I've never seen anything. I'm sure if anything happens to you, you will not be able to lift your hands because you don't know how to do anything. Everything is good. And he really does. But, you know, I tell you, once you're thrown into something, then you swim.
There you go.
It doesn't matter what happens. You will swim. And I know if ever it should happen, oh God, I'd definitely be me first. But if ever anything should happen to you, I know I'll be able to cope.
Yeah.
I know it.
With aplomb, I'm sure.
Lovey, how many times in your life expected to happen to you? You thought, you know, it was plain sailing, everything was going fine and what have you. And then all of a sudden, something happens. You're thrown into the deep water.
Mm-hmm.
You swim. My golly. Yeah.
I think you're a good swimmer, Ma.
I swim like a rock, my dear. Right to the bottom. From the word go. You just say it, I go. You know, when I grew up, it was on a farm and we didn't have pools. We had a huge cement dam, that was it. And we never went to sea, to the coast, on holidays because a farmer never takes holidays. And my mum was too involved in the farming business to go alone with us. I don't think she would have anyway. But luckily later on they were, you know, when they sold the farm, they were able to travel a lot and see everything which they didn't see
Nice.
when they were young. Hiccups and things, but it's been very, very good to me. I was dealt a very good deal.
I think you've had a good life, Ma.
Oh yeah. I'm satisfied. I'm very happy. I couldn't wish for anything more, really. I couldn't possibly. I've got good children.
Yeah.
I've got lovely grandchildren. And now grandchildren, which of course we very seldom see. Because, you know, Terry, it's like this during the week, everybody is busy.
Yeah.
Everybody is working. And now comes the weekends. And I mean, that's their time to relax with their family as well.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the only time they have. And you can't expect them to, you know, to come every weekend or day off or whatever. So they do their thing. And we try and sort of fit in. We don't fit in, we just worm ourselves into it. No, luckily, as far as that's concerned, everything's been going fantastic. Fabulous. You know, one guy up there This is now a few years ago. Now we've got a lot of these mongooses. We've got a lot of this. And, you know, he chased them.
He chases them?
Well, he put them into a, I don't know if he made some way of entrance for them to this sewage pipe. He closed it.
He does what?
He closed it.
Oh.
He closed it off.
Oh.
And he let them die from hunger,
Oh, shame.
starvation. Those people, I just want to. Somebody like that. And I've written to our manager here, and I said, listen, the first time you may warn them. The second time you give them notice and tell them, go and live in a high-rise in Joburg. You do not belong in the bushveld.
Yeah.
Not belong here at all. Because that's one of the first things I tell you when you come here, is you must remember it's bushveld. We've got, you know, some small animals roaming and so on. And please don't hurt them or anything like that.
Okay, Ma, what am I looking at over there? You rascal.
Tilly, please look. You're missing something very, very funny. Come on, you.
What am I looking over there at? You told me there are two people in the bush having sex.
Yeah, that's it. But there's so much movement, you can't get the camera still.
That's our Ma. She's so goofy, she makes other people happy too. There's our sweet Pa. Mwah, 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 mwah. How did we get so lucky to have you for a Pa?
Thank you. It's very nice.
Loading up, heading out. There's Mom and Pa's little cute house.
Oh, so hello, my sweet.
Oh, my love.
Ook klein stom. As jy weer afval bestel,
Dat was lekker afval geweest hoor.
You
Come
made
on,
the...
sweetheart.
Thank you for everything, Mom.
You're so welcome. Please come again.
You know we will. We can't live without our Ma for long.
Yeah. No.
Our one-of-a-kind Ma.
That's why I'm a twin.
That's right. One you would have been too few. We have all these gifts for you, Ma.
You know what? I think he got a speeding ticket. Now he wants to give that to me as well. These soft drinks are not for Mark.
Bye, loves. Okay, honey. Love you to bits.
Hoe dan? O ja. Right, mooi blij.
Thank you. Love you.
Mooi blij. Tada, dankie vir alles hoor.
Love you.
Bye.